Hey y'all, there's a wide variety of different topics that we're going to be talking about and discussing. None of these videos are meant for anybody. They're going to be graphic, they're going to be horrific, they're going to cause a lot of problems out there. I've had 40 something years to plan for this. I need to tell my life story and the reason behind the things that it is that I do for every single reason, for every single thing. I have to discuss the real reason, the real truth for the actual history of everything since the end of the 1940s. My grandpa and my father had a very, very extremely public war between those two assholes, and it nearly destroyed the entire planet. Quite literally. Um, One of the agreements was that I needed to do this one day, not just tell my life story, as well as a true history of everything, as well as a huge wide variety of other things as well that we'll be discussing about. Hey, look, I have 30 something facial scars. That's not why I'm covering my face. I'm wearing my welding hood because of the theatrics that they're wanting to. Also, I need more of my people up here where I am, and then I'll feel more comfortable with exposing my face, because the more of my people that are up here, the better, and I'll feel more comfortable and confident with showing my face to the general population, to the general public. So if y'all want me to not wear the welding hood, encourage my people to get to where it is that I am. So, we're going to talk about a wide variety of topics and subjects. I'm known as the God Killer, the God Slayer, huge wide variety of different things. I'm portrayed in movies and TV shows as a big hulking man or different something else or some other bullshit, whatever. I'm tiny. I'm small. I have, well, we won't go into my medical history. Let's just say that I'm a military test pilot, and I have been my entire life. And whenever I get a chance to get back into another machine, I'm going to fucking do it. And also, with what it is we're doing here with the Educational Resource Center, where all of the world's inventions are coming together in one place. The Star Trek hospital, the top hospital that all the countries have been competing for and collaborating with, trying to come up together, trying to figure out all the different angles on how to get their country to have the Star Trek hospital that everyone's been waiting for. The Star Trek hospital is going to be in Alaska. It always has been planned to be in Alaska, but we needed the other countries to compete in order to create more inventions, in order to do all the different things that need to get done. By the time it's time to go into Alaska, it's going to be in the main building of the Educational Resource Center in remote wilderness, Alaska. And whenever everything is all said and done, the whole thing is going to run off of way less than one standard 1980s watch battery. It's going to run off half and even less than that. We just need more people to get involved, more individuals to get involved. Anybody and everybody who wants to be more involved in the space programs, they can and they will through the Educational Resource Center. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what your backgrounds are or anything else. If you are determined to do something more and to do something else, we need you. We want you and we need you. Also, it doesn't matter what your gender or your color of skin or anything else. And just to let you know, all Native, Tribal, Indigenous, and Aboriginal peoples, they are first on the list for getting in. At the same time, the way to get into the ERC is to become a part of it. And it's a huge, multi-level, faceted level non-profit organization. Everybody's life experiences are going to be making this happen. It's not just one way, it's not just one thing. And here's a tiny little tidbit for y'all. Something that I'm willing to share with the world, that with what it is that we'll be doing there. Oh, also, no steel and no concrete. No steel and no concrete. Don't fucking care. No steel and no concrete. Highly toxic substances that we need to get out of the wilderness. Yes, concrete roads included, concrete slabs for houses. I don't fucking care. Concrete only lasts at the most 25 years, and if you think about the crumbling cities on the East Coast and wherever else in the world. So yeah, we've got big tasks ahead of us to help all these crumbling cities and landslide areas and everything else through the inventions that are becoming together at the Educational Resource Center in remote wilderness, Alaska. Now, this is separate from with what it is that we'll be doing in Whittier, Alaska. In Whittier, if you look at the topography of Whittier, the aerial view of it, you will see that the symbol of Whittier will look a bit familiar, like the Klingon symbols and the Star Trek symbols. No fucking joke. Whittier was originally created for something a whole hell of a fuck ton lot more than the propaganda out there for what it was that it was created for. They came across some problems that the people that were there, the current mindset, could not handle. And so Whittier has been an active military test site the entire time that he has been abandoned. It's never actually been truly abandoned. So they left people alone. They let them live how they wanted to live. I was able to keep the train in there so then they could at least have a job and some form of jobs. It's the end result of what you do whenever you leave people alone. You give them opportunities and chances, and then you leave them alone for like 50 years or 100 years or whatever it was. And because of the actions of what it is that I chose to do whenever I was 4 years old, and I continue to do all throughout my life, we're speeding that up a little bit to turn that into the more technical side of things with what it is that we're doing with the Educational Resource Center. The Educational Resource Center is going to be elsewhere, and where it is and everything else about it, well, you have to believe in cryptics and other species in order to understand that, well, it was the agreement with all the species in order to put it with where it is that it's going to be put. I am the caretaker for Alaska, as well as much of, well, everything. We'll go into more detail about that later. My father, Tommy Rexford, created the forest and protected the forest in Alaska, as well as Canada and much of the lower 48 and elsewhere that he could, to protect the people who live inside of them, the animals, the minerals, the natural resources, and the other things out there in the woods that documentaries will not tell you about for very, very good reason. Give them their space. Leave them alone. For fuck's sake. Even my grandpa, as psycho the fuck as he was, would not go up against these things. He tried, but then he ran away just like the little fucking bitch that he was. So, and that guy was celebrated as a god. He was everybody's favorite god. Fucking god of destruction and everything else. And there's still a lot of people out there to this day that worship that fucking blood god that was going to destroy everything and everyone. I'm the one that went up against him. A lot of people see it as winning with what it is that I do. I don't see it as winning. My entire life been going through changing the laws, doing the things that are needed in order to clean up the fucking messes that he left behind, and to help all of the innocent people that have been harmed by him, getting them more than enough health care, getting them education, getting them something. A lot of them have no idea that they're a part of any of this, and everybody's a part of all of this. I have been working with world leaders. I have been working with people that people don't see as people. I've been protecting the children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, etc. of the people that stood up to my grandpa all throughout the years. I really am not the most happy, happy personality type. And also, I'm the one that continued the goth industrial scene from 1980 is whenever the changeover happened, somewhere between 80 and 82, and I'm directly responsible for that. I'm the one that got that psycho to market it as veteran mental health, gave them some tips and tricks, and I was able to get heavy metal and anything having to do with metal, even soft rock, from being continuing on instead of just being taken away from the general population and nobody having any music whatsoever to listen to, not even Mozart, no fucking joke. They're going to strip music for from the whole world, as well as a huge wide variety of other things as well. It's about mind control, and they wanted to make people suffer and pay for standing up to them whenever people who were not part of the mind control were trying to do something about it. Long story short, I'm going to be discussing everything. I need to publish these before mid-October 2024, and this is the absolute truth. Stick with me.